Hey guys! Alright, in this video I'm going to share. It's a bit cloudy today. In this video I'm going to share with you exactly how much I've spent on my East Coast trip. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Gergana and I just finished backpacking the East Coast of Australia. I'm actually still in Australia, in Sydney at the moment, house sitting. So as you can see, I'm not in a hostel. So I took this opportunity to record this video and share with you how much exactly I spent on my East Coast trip, because as promised and a lot of people requested this video. So I will share exactly how much I spent on each activity and hostel. Before we start, I have to mention that I did not plan this whole East Coast trip by myself. I did it through an agency, Happy Travels, and this is obviously not sponsored, so I'm sharing my honest opinion and feedback, what it is, the pros and cons of booking through an agency. I had no idea the cost of each separate activity and hostel, but for the purpose of this video, I did my research. So I wrote down, where's my phone? I wrote down each cost and I'm about to share it with you. I did separate it in 3 different segments. So first I will start with the activities, then I'll share the cost about the transport, and last the hostels. Food I did not really include, but I'll talk about it at the end. Another thing, my East Coast trip was 45 days. So I started from Melbourne on the 15th of January and I finished in Cairns on the 1st of March, 28th of February. No, 1st of March, yes. All right. Are you ready? I will start with a little bit of a backstory of how it all happened. So I arrived in Sydney on the 28th of January 2024, just before New Year's, and I didn't plan anything just because I wanted to be more flexible. That's the advice I got from everyone. And yeah, I didn't want to book everything like too in advance. So I had booked just for the first week. I had accommodation for the first week of Sydney, and then I had a flight booked to Tasmania, and that was it. I had no idea. Oh, and actually I had a flight booked from Tasmania to Melbourne. Why Melbourne? Because it was the cheapest, and I knew I was doing a road trip with a few girls in Tasmania, so I had a rough idea of when to buy my tickets and looked of the cheapest date. That was 15th of January. I booked my flights to and from Tasmania, and that was all that I had pre-booked before I came to Australia. So on my first day in Sydney, the 28th of January, I go out for a walk, and on my way back to the hostel, I was looking for a supermarket. I was just walking around. They stopped me on the streets. They asked me if I'm traveling, if I know how busy it is, that all the buses are booked, and so on. To be honest, I knew what they were going for because I've heard of Happy Travels. I've watched other vloggers before I arrived to Australia. So I had heard of them, I knew what they do, and even I was considering whether I should book through them, but it seemed a bit too expensive for me and I wanted to go a bit low budget. I had decided to plan it myself, but I don't know what happened. I know they're really skilled and they know how to make sales. Obviously, that's their job. I was open to it, to hear what they have to say, because obviously I had no plan and I didn't know what to do. So I guess I needed a bit more structure. We had a chat and I thought that maybe it would be actually better if I plan it with them, because it was the peak season, January, February, when there's a lot of backpackers escaping the winter in Europe, and a lot of the activities, they actually get booked very quickly. And if I wanted to travel, if I wanted to plan it by myself and to be more flexible, that wouldn't be really possible, because maybe if I want to go skydiving tomorrow, it won't be possible. I have to wait 3-4 days. Or Fraser Islands, it usually gets booked weeks in advance. So I still had to plan weeks in advance, to be honest. So I did agree to book with them. So we sat down and we discussed what I want to do, where I want to go, where I want to stop. Here is the part that obviously they try to sell everything to you, and I knew that. I was aware of it, and I feel like I still did fall for it, because I booked a lot of activities, but at the same time I wanted to do most of the things, so I went for it. Do I regret it? I'll keep that for the end of the video, and probably I will make a separate video of things I wish I had done differently. But for this video, let's stick to the costs. Starting with activities. Okay, so first, as I mentioned, I started in Melbourne on 15th of January. So I was there for 5 days, and I did 2 activities. One was the Great Ocean Road tour, and the other one was Phillip Island to see the penguins parade. So the Great Ocean Road was $150, and the Phillip Island was $165. This is everything I did in Melbourne, and then from Melbourne, I took a bus to Sydney. I stayed in Sydney for 2 days, but I didn't have any activities. From Sydney, I took a bus to Arawara, where I did a surf camp for 4 days, 3 nights, and the cost of this was $585. Yes. From the surf camp, I went to Byron, and I had only one activity, which was the dolphin kayak. This was $89. Actually, in Byron, they recommended me another activity, which was, I think, swimming with sharks, but I did not book it because it was too much, the cost at the end, like the total price that I had to pay the agency. Actually, yeah, I did mention that I didn't know the price of each activity, because I did pay the total amount to the agency and they booked everything for me. Literally, I paid, and in 2 hours he sent me everything, all the bookings for each activity, each hostel, Greyhound, everything was booked for me in 2 hours for the next 45 days. I'll also mention the total price at the end. From Byron, I went to Brisbane. No, from Byron, I went to Gold Coast, but in Gold Coast, I was for 2 days. Again, I did have, actually, wait a minute. Okay, I did forget to mention. So this is the plan. I don't know if you can see. Oh, this is what we talked on the first day. When I'm starting, the dates, each activity that I'm gonna do in each city, which days I have the bus, and yeah, for how long I want to do it, how long I want to stay in each city, and so on. So this is the whole planning. So as you can see, there's like a couple of things that are crossed out. These are activities that at first we talked about potentially booking, but at the end, when he told me the the full amount of the whole trip. I said no, we need to remove some activities because it was too much. But let's go back to the prices. From Byron, I went to Gold Coast for 2 days, but I did not do anything. We talked about something in Gold Coast, Springbrook something. I'm not sure what it is, but I did not book it, so I didn't do anything, and I'm really happy about that. From Gold Coast, I went to Brisbane. In Brisbane, I had one activity, which was the Moreton Island. This was a day trip, and it cost $189. Now, I also wanted to go to the Australia Zoo, and he had initially included it here as a like a group trip, I guess, but he did remove it just because I wanted to reduce the cost, and he told me that I can just go by myself, and that's what I did. So the ticket was $70, but this is separate. Actually, I did not book it through Happy Travels. From Brisbane, I went to Noosa. In Noosa, I had two activities again. First, Fraser Island. So I did Fraser Island. I think it was Island Expedition. It was really nice tour. 3 days, 2 nights. It was $600 for 3 days, 2 nights. Yes. And I did the Everglades as well. This was $155. From Noosa, I went to Mackay. Mackay was, I was there for 2 days, 2 nights, and the whole stay there in Mackay was like a group tour. So this was $449. And we did go to see platypus and the kangaroos at sunrise. From Mackay, I went to Early Beach. I had 3 activities there. First one was Whitsunday sailing trip. 2 days, 2 nights on a sailing boat, and this costed $649. The next day I had the scenic flight, which is $305. And the day after I went for a skydive, again $349. And on the day of the skydive, I added extra package to get the video footage of me jumping out of the plane. And this costed $170, which yeah, it was not included. I did not pay Happy Travels, but I did pay on the day. From Early Beach, I went to Townsville, and in Townsville, from Townsville, I took a ferry. I went to Magnetic Island. Magnetic Island, I didn't have any activities there. So then I went to Mission Beach. From Mission Beach, I had one activity, which was the White River rafting, and this was $239. Wow, $239, and the rafting was just 2 or 3 hours. I did not know it was that expensive. After Mission Beach, I finished my East Coast trip in Cairns. Of course, Uncle Brian's, I mean, you cannot skip Uncle Brian's. Everyone talks about it. You have to do it. And I did the overnight tour, which was $389. Now, oh no, I forgot. I had one more activity in Cairns, which was the Great Barrier Reef dive. I did an intro dive, not a course. It was just a day trip, just one dive. Yeah, this was $424 for one scuba dive. Did they say skydive? Scuba dive. $424. He really did book me on an expensive one, I think, because the food that they served there, and it felt a bit fancy, I won't lie. Anyway, this was all the activities that I did on my East Coast trip. I did vlog everything, so if you haven't watched any of my vlogs, I'll leave the link to my playlist of the whole backpacking of the East Coast. If you want to see any specific activity, you can watch it my previous videos. The total price of all the activities is $4,979. No, the total price of the activities is $4,977. I can't even say it. The number is that big. I can't even say it. Okay, this was just the activities. Now the transport, I already mentioned. I was traveling with the Greyhound bus. As a backpacker, obviously it's most convenient. And I had a pass for 37 days, which was $498. And the ferry to Magnetic Island, and the pass was $42, which was a return pass. Quite cheap. I'm surprised here. Now we move on to hostels. The price here can be quite different. I think depends on the time of the year that you travel, but I did check for each hostel and for the type of room that I stayed and the nights how much it costed me, just so I can give you this information. But again, it can be different. Also, I wasn't sure if they booked because if you go on Hostel World, you can book non-refundable, refundable, and the prices are different. Sometimes you also get a 10% discount, 5% discount if you book. But to give you a rough idea of how much I spent at each for each hostel, I will just leave a screenshot here of each hostel. I did include the room type that I was at and how many nights I stayed there. So what I did is, from the total amount that I paid to Happy Travels, I subtracted the total activities and the total cost for transport. So I was left with the total amount of all the hostels is $2,076. Now, if you've already made your calculation, yes, the total price that I paid for this East Coast trip, drum rolls, $7,473 for the whole East Coast trip, and this was just activities, transport, and hostels. Now this is without the fees and the exchange fees that I had to pay, because when you pay by cards, I think you pay a certain percentage, I'm not sure, of the total price. So I did have an extra $124 fees, and then on top of that I had exchange fees because my bank account is in euro, and this was another €60. I'm not sure, but I think the total of fees that I paid was around €130. I know. Aww. Oh, good boy, good boy. Who's a good boy? Of course you want attention too. To wrap up this video, the total price, I actually paid $7,593 because this is including the fees. So some of the activities do include food, like the Whit Sundays. We had breakfast, lunch, dinner, Fraser again, Uncle Brian's as well. And most of the activities, actually, even on the day trip ones, maybe you'd have like a small snack included, and some hostels would have a breakfast included, but not everywhere. So this is it. Is it a lot of money? Yes. Did I plan to spend this much? No. Do I regret it? No. But if I would go back, I would do it a bit differently. Now for this, I would make a separate video because this one is now too long. I will share what I would do different and which activities I would not recommend as much and which I would. Oh yeah, for the food I didn't finish. So for food, I'm not sure exactly how much I've spent. I did check. Actually, for February, I've spent 150 euros. And then for January, only 100 euros. But I did start tracking it a bit later in January. So I'm not sure. But roughly per month, I would spend 200 euros on food. Now, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't eat out, I don't do any takeaways, deliveries, or whatever. Now this probably sounds a bit boring, but yeah, I'm kind of on a budget, even though I don't think this was budget friendly tour trip. But to keep it not way too expensive, because I'm not going back home anytime soon. I'm still traveling. I do want to travel until end of December, so that's another, what are we now, March? I still want to travel for another 9 months, and I'm traveling only on my savings. I'm not working, so I cannot go all out. I did go out a few times, but not a lot. That were my main costs. Okay, to finish up this video, because I don't have much battery left. Now, I just wanted to mention Happy Travels. They claim that they can book the activities for you for a cheaper price because they get better deals. But is this true? I don't know. I don't know if I want to believe that because as you can see, if I calculate, if I check the prices of each activity, and if I had booked it myself, it would have been the same price. If I was planning the East Coast trip by myself and booking everything by myself, I probably wouldn't have done everything, and wouldn't have done it much cheaper, just because yeah, I would have known the price of each activity. And I would have skipped a lot, to be honest. So on that side, I am happy that I booked with Happy Travels. Is it a lot of money? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did it save me a lot of organizing, planning, and potentially stress? Yes. There's really a lot of pros and cons booking with an agency. It really depends on you. I'm happy that I booked with Happy Travels just because it was really convenient to just show up and don't have to stress whether this will be booked for you, whether this would be fully booked, or I've heard of people that have to wait a couple of days at one town just because they couldn't do the activity that they wanted to do on the day they want to do it, so they had to stay in extra days. And this is actually what Happy Travels warned me about, that I'll end up staying at places where maybe I won't like, just because I wouldn't know what I want to do, or if there's anything to do, or yeah, you get the point. So in that case, specifically for the East Coast trip, I'm happy, and actually I would recommend booking it with an agency because it would save you a lot of stress. Okay, my battery died, so I had to change it just to finish up this video. So I don't know where I was. Was it worth it? It was worth it. It saved me a lot of stress in planning, and a lot of the activities, indeed, they get booked a lot in advance, so you can't be really flexible. I've heard of people who had to stay at one place just because they had to wait until there's some space for the bookings, that for the activities that they want to do. So to avoid that, it's really, or it's really convenient to book it with the agency, or you have to plan everything yourself really in advance. Another thing, it's true that from the agency that they would try and sell everything for you. Like I showed you in the beginning from the initial plan, how I had all these activities planned and then the total cost was too much for me, so we ended up crossing a few. So yes, obviously pros and cons of booking with an agency. You just have to decide for yourself what's more important, whether you really want to be flexible or you just want this peace of mind and just showing up. Like me, I don't regret it. I definitely don't regret it. Yes, it's a lot of money, but money comes and goes. And I actually did a lot of activities. I did not meet anyone else doing this many activities, which made me feel a little bit bad at some point, because I was like, oh my God, I'm spending so much money. No one is doing this many things, but now I can really say I've done a lot and most of it. And I'm happy, even though I could have skipped some things. I wouldn't have known if I hadn't done it. So happy I could do it all and experience it all now. It was intense 45 days. I also took it a bit more longer than usual. I took my time because most people do the whole East Coast in 3 or 4 weeks, and I did it in, what is it, 6-7 weeks? I'm not sure. But yeah, because I had no rush, I had no plan of going back or leaving Australia, so I could really take my time. But I believe you can also do it in 4 weeks. But even for me, 45 days, it was intense, especially towards the end. I was so tired in the last week when I was already in Cairns. I remember I was thinking, I know this is going to end soon and I want to enjoy it and be present, but at the same time, I was like, I cannot wait for the 1st of March when all the activities will be over and I can just rest. And actually, after I finished my East Coast trip, I was 5 days, I booked a hostel for like 10 days. The first 5 days, I was in the hostel the whole time. I didn't go out, I didn't do anything. I was just so tired. But anyway, so yeah, I think this is all about the costs of my East Coast trip. Let me know what you think. Is it a lot? Would you spend this amount of money? And also, if you're planning a trip to the East Coast of Australia, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I would be happy to answer. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.